Hello and welcome to the FilmSoc Livestream. Today we're going to have another news and rumours episode where we just break down all of the stuff and coverage that we've gotten over the past couple of weeks. But first, let's all introduce ourselves. I'm Peter, and a film I watched this week was The Prestige.
I'm Kat, and a film I watched this week was Man on the Moon. I didn't know whether to steal yours, Hattie, but I'm going to do it anyway.
I'm Hattie, and I also watched The Man on the Moon with Kat, and it was really good.
I'm Devon, and I rewatched Arrival this week.
I'm Alex, and I watched 4 Rooms and 20 minutes of Blue Velvet. Valentine. Yeah, Blue Valentine.
Cool. Yeah, so usually it's like, we'll do our news and rumours and then we'll get into the actual show, but this is the actual show, believe it or not. So first of all, I thought we'd just go over the Netflix top 10. So at number 10, we've got Lost Bullet. Number 9 is Skyscraper, which is the Dwayne Johnson flick, not the Demi Lovato song. We've got Feel the Beat at number 8, Athlete A, 365 Days, Hotel Transylvania 3, Summer Vacation, Line of Duty at number 4, the newly released Eurovision, The Story of the Fire Saga at number 3, Freaks, and then number 1 is Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again. I have to be honest, I haven't seen any of these films.
I saw The Skyscraper. That was the last movie I saw before I left for Newcastle.
Wow.
Really?
What was it like?
Why?
It was a very impromptu last minute plan with my best friends because I was leaving like 2 days after that, and we just decided to go to the cinema, and it was the only movie worth watching that we had.
Was the last movie I saw.
Oh my god, I'm so
before I
sorry,
left for
something's
Newcastle.
happened.
Is Skyscraper not like a really one?
No, stop.
It was
Sorry. That won't happen again. Sorry. Continue.
I don't know what just happened. But...
Basically, I started trying to start a watch party, and then it, like, everybody's voice was 30 seconds behind. So everybody... But yeah, that's all that happened.
What were you going to say, Peter?
No, just Alex, did you watch in cinemas then?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought Skyscraper came out like 5 years ago. Like it's just like another Dwayne Johnson action flick that just... No, was it this year?
It was last year. I have the ticket here. I can actually tell you. It was on the 20th of July of 2018.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant before you left Newcastle this time. All right, okay.
Yeah.
Right, that makes more sense. Is anyone... Oh, sorry, Devon.
You probably could have an entire movie marathon of films that Dwayne Johnson has sort of remade that film, but not in name. Because I from watching the trailer, Skyscraper just seemed like sort of Die Hard again. They're in a very tall building and people trying to take it over, and he's like the cop guy.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
But also Judge Dredd and The Raid.
Yeah, but even then, I
But
feel
those
like
are sort of the opposite.
Yeah.
Where the cop guys try and get it.
Yeah, it's more kind of a fence rather than a lone guy wandering through the hallways.
Do you guys remember The Tooth Fairy?
Yes!
Oh, that was a weird film.
Oh.
I just want to put onto people's memories again.
Nothing to say about it.
Because before all of these big blockbuster ones, he did The Tooth Fairy. So,
well, I feel like every big strong. I think we talked about this on an early one, but every big strong, very masculine actor always does a comedy where they're playing a very sort of playing against the kids and being a sort of reluctant father figure and all that. Yeah.
Batista did one quite recently called My Spy, which didn't get released and then COVID happened, so Amazon bought it. Maybe they already owned it and just decided to forego the release. But you can watch it now. I don't know why you would, but yeah. So let's get into the main news. So for just to let you guys know, the structure of this thing is I've taken some of the bigger headlines or ones I thought you could, do a bit more in-depth dive into them. And then I've got a couple of different games planned just to go through more of the minor news. So yeah, the big thing I want to highlight this week, and Kat talked about it last week, is the San Diego Comic-Con at Home convention, which is just going to be like a virtual Comic-Con with all the different panels. But also DC Fandom, which is coming out in August 22nd, which is like a 24-hour event, and they're going to have, all DC everything sort of thing with film panels for Aquaman, the Batman, the Suicide Squad, Black Adam, Zack Snyder's Justice League, Wonder Woman 1984, and Shazam. And they released like a 30-second teaser for Snyder Cut. Justice League. I don't know if you guys saw that. Yeah. But I just wanted to talk about those sort of things together because I thought it was quite an interesting development, and if this is going to be, I don't know, a shift. Because like with Comic-Con, I think it might be like E3, where a lot of the developers just sort of realize that with online, like social media, all of the news and stuff goes out anyway, and you're generating hype like that, and you're not like paying for all the space of going to San Diego Comic-Con or going to E3 every year. I don't know. I just want to get your thoughts on that. If this is going to be harmful or what you guys think we could see at either event or whatever.
I think people will go to it. Like, I think people will still be like really interested in it, and like it'll still generate a lot of I don't know, like people going to it. That's the wrong word, but like as much as there isn't the same like kind of fun aspect of it, I still think it'll like do fairly well. But I don't know how much, like, if they're gonna, do you know if they're intending to charge for it?
I think they're both free events.
Wow, that's quite...
Maybe. I don't know. I know the DC one's free. I don't know about San Diego. No, I think they refunded the ticket so that you could go next year.
Okay.
That's what they've done with that. So this might be a free event anyway for everybody.
Yeah. Well, that sounds really exciting to me. Like, I don't know if I would, like, I don't know. I haven't been to a con in such a long time. It might be quite fun to do a virtual one instead.
I mean, this is like the one year we will all get into Hall H, quite possibly. Like, it is that one way I can think about it. But I think the atmosphere is going to be missed. Like, I've never gone, but you look at the videos and everyone's having such a great time and everyone's dressed up, and you're not going to get that online. You're not going to get that spirit. It's really cliched, but you won't.
Because you always get those like articles afterwards of people going into that meticulous detail of what was shown at Hall H, and you're doing like a big deep dive. It's like, I need to know everything.
Do people actually kind of go to San Diego Comic-Con for the exclusive clips? I never quite, because it always seems to be that they're always detailed anyway, and people always kind of explain them, and then a lot of the time they're released to the public like a week or two later, and it's always felt weird that there's this kind of exclusivity which almost, I don't know if it staggers the hype or if it actually feeds into it. But yeah, I've always wished that they would just release everything, because I'm poor and I can't go to America. Just release everything online, and I've never known. I mean, obviously, the fact they didn't do that means that they had an incentive not to. So I'm glad they're doing it this year, but I think it's interesting if this will provoke any sort of change, or if they'll just swap back to the way it used to be.
Yeah. Do you guys remember what Marvel did last year? I have a feeling they sort of like skipped Comic-Con.
Yes.
And I think it was, that was it. They skipped Comic-Con, and then the James Gunn thing happened. I think was how it had gone down.
What was the James Gunn thing that I remember?
Yeah, and then they did like a D23 or some sort of like substitute panel. And that's
That was it with Marvel. They've got Disney's convention, which is sort of their one to go to now.
yeah. So I'm wondering if if the fandom thing goes well, if DC will just like pull out of San Diego, or put like a great emphasis on that. You know, so I think like the gaming world is a good reference point because this is what we've been seeing with E3 the last couple of years as well. Like Nintendo just do their own directs throughout the year, and you know, it's just I don't know how important an event is now to generate hype. You
I
can
think-
easily just do like 5-second clips and then a trailer and then it trends on Twitter.
The thing about E3 which differentiates it is E3 is sort of very much a business show too. It's one where a lot of kind of indie developers will pitch to big publishers and kind of where a lot of indie developers get their games picked up, which I don't think exists at all with Comic-Con. So if anything, Comic-Con has less stake to lose by just moving everything online and being sort of a power. I mean, obviously it's sales and physical. They make a lot of money actually on the show floor, but in terms of they don't have that business aspect. It really is just the convention and the marketing.
Don't they screen indie movies at Comic-Con?
Yeah, I have a feeling they did because I think they showed the Blair Witch sequel a few years ago there. Yeah, no, they do that, and for like the animated DC ones, if they're doing a summer release, they might do like a premiere at Comic-Con and stuff. It's interesting you're saying about the indie developers because I was thinking, I don't know for a fact, but comic creators, it could be a big business point for them if you're up and coming. It's a hard business to get into. It's a hard business to stay in. It's a bit like acting, I think, you know, where you really are relying on gig after gig to get, you know, stay into it. But yeah, I should do some research around that. Because if these pull out, then it might be hard to sustain the event. People are less likely to go if they don't have all of these little tidbits. The convention's not like charging these big studios like so much money to help run the rest of it, you know. So I don't know. I think if people pull out, there could be a bit of a collapse in the San Diego convention, which would be a shame because it's been going on for years now, like literally decades. But yeah.
And it's so expensive too, the general version of it. Like it's, I mean, of course, like without the cost of like getting there and everything, is also like the cost of actually being there. And you're supposed to, like, the general idea of those ones as well, isn't it? Is that like you don't really go for one day. You really try and go for like 3-ish days or even all of it if you can. So like it's just such an expensive thing. And yeah, for it to like be changed like that, and like is it still gonna is it gonna flop? I don't know.
I think they'll go to they'll do the actual convention as soon as they can, because it's something that must generate a lot of money for everyone, the creators, the organizers, everyone that takes part in it. So I think it's in their best interest to do it again as soon as they can as well. Like the hotels, restaurants must see a peak, like in the neighborhood or the place, the area where it's done. So I think it's on the best interest of everyone. And it's also, people are still gonna be up for going if they can. I don't think people would prefer the virtual thing, just as Hattie said, that it's the ambience and the environment and everything that you like, and the main reason I think why people go to the cons.
But even the actors, like, you can pay upwards of like £50-60 just to have a signature from them, and then like 200 on a photograph. Like, that's a lot, and I think a lot of people go for that as well. But on the money aspect of it, it's so expensive just to do it all. So I don't even know, even if they did reintroduce the con, if they would have like a socially distanced Hall H. I don't know how that would happen, but you wouldn't even probably be able to do like photos or autographs. It's not the same photoshopped into a picture with your favorite actor. Like, it's not.
They could do a Lord of the Rings one where they get all the Hobbit actors, and then you can have forced perspective photographs where it looks like...
That's the only one I'll accept, that one. And Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk. But that's it.
just green face paint, no CGI or anything.
No, I'm glad you mentioned that, because it was what I was thinking of. Like, one of the only reasons people could, or studios could go back in, is that like, of course, we always look at box office revenue, sort of judge how well a film does, but there's so much merchandising around it with huge markups. And like San Diego Comic-Con's renowned for doing like exclusive toys or whatever that you can only get there. So besides like kids, you're also going to get collectors going and stuff like that. Of course, we don't have a lot of statistics around it, but it would be interesting how much the studio, they could be making a bit of a profit by going to San Diego Comic-Con, between generating, obviously, this marketing and hype around it, but also selling highly marked up goods. I don't know, maybe not seeing footage is a good way to tease a film. I think you're a lot more intrigued. I think once a trailer comes out, sometimes it's hype for a week and then people forget about it. But if it's sort of teased and people just talk about it on Twitter and it slowly builds up a word of mouth, I think you could push it out a little bit further. That, it's marketing without really having to show anything. So you can change footage later on. A lot of trailers that are released are sort of like, oh yeah, that footage was in the Comic-Con, but it's not exactly the same. So I think they could get away with showing less by having the Comic-Con. But yeah, does anyone else have anything they wanted?
I just looked up just while you were talking about it, like, because it made me think, I wonder if any other cons, like especially the more UK ones, have like done anything, and literally like all of the main ones are all cancelled. Like nothing is moved online and that's including London, like the most expensive one, because I was curious if London might do it, because even though it's much smaller than like Manchester, Edinburgh, Glasgow, all those ones, as much as it is much bigger than those ones, even though they're big events in themselves, they've got like more bigger names and stuff. Like when I went, you had some like crazy famous people there. Like I think I had Benedict Cumberbatch there when I was there, you know what I mean? Like it's got big names, but they've all been cancelled. The only one I found was, I think Edinburgh Comic-Con is still happening, but it's in September or something. So it's it's not in this kind of summer time and everything. So I was just curious. Time. But yeah, who knows, it might get cancelled. No, but yeah, it's just
worrying for the smaller cons as well if they're not moving online, because I can't believe I'm saying this, but the Isle of Wight has their own Comic-Con. I've never been. It is literally tiny. The people they get there are like maybe E-grade celebrities, but that's only been running for like 2 years. So to not have it running this year financially might be a little bit of a problem for them next year, but it's a shame.
We have a few cons, but our biggest one was cancelled a few years ago. I think it was MCM and then we went to it, and like the guests were like pretty good. They had the voice actors from Uncharted 4, so sort of like Nolan North, Troy Baker and all, and that was cool, but it was really lacking, like it had gotten worse. And then I think that like a month later they released this like statement, and it's like, oh, we always want to strive to be bigger and better, and that's why we're not doing this con anymore in Belfast. It's like, whoa. It was honestly like that. It was this whole like build up of wanting to be better and like grow, so we're like not doing your convention anymore. Like there are other conventions, but yeah, I haven't been to one since.
But yeah, I haven't been to any since. Oh, have you guys ever been to the Newcastle or like in and around Newcastle area ones? I never have, sadly. I've heard about them though, and they sound okay.
FilmSoc did do a trip to one a couple of years ago. The one that happens. It used to be called the Metro Arena, but I think it's been renamed because something. But yeah.
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah. I think I know the one you mean, but I can't remember.
Yeah. Anyway, it was small but nice. I mean, I feel like conventions. It's you kind of go more for the people than the convention. Like
Oh,
if you just go expecting to be entertained, you won't be, because it's mainly just shops and like a few panels that you might be interested. But if you go to like either hang out with friends or meet people, that's the way to do it. Which
Yeah,
is what, of
definitely.
course, the online one would lack.
Oh no, sorry, no, I just like it's all by that sort of thing, like the cosplay around it and stuff, and I like when they have like gaming sort of things set up, like maybe they have like a fighters game set up and do like a tournament one day, and you go like that. We have one called QCon because it's either run by or it's run in Queen's University, and it's sort of like an anime and gaming convention, and I think that's actually been a lot more popular than the sort of traditional comic book ones. But yeah, sorry, so another big news, well, it's not like huge news, but it felt strange, and it was announced last night that Margot Robbie and writer Christina Hodson are developing a new Pirates movie for Disney. And it's going to be its own thing, not going to acknowledge the other ones, not featuring returning characters, but it's also separate from the one being developed by Ted Elliott and Chernobyl writer Craig Mazin, I don't know. Yeah, no, I just thought this was really weird because, of course, a few weeks ago, Karen Gillan was rumored or being reported to be in talks to be in one of them. So I'm wondering if this is sort of like Karen Gillan's going to be in this one, or Margot Robbie's replaced her, or she's going to be in Craig Mazin's one. I don't know, I just thought it was a really interesting development, the sort of like splintering of the franchise, especially with Johnny Depp's sort of involvement still up in the air. Would you guys watch one by Margot Robbie and Christina Hodson? Oh, sorry, for reference, Christina Hodson is quite an upcoming writer, and if Hollywood seems to love her, they've like tapped her to do all these sort of blockbuster films. She did Bumblebee, she did this year's Birds of Prey, she's set to do The Flash and Batgirl, and now she's also doing this. I think there's something else as well.
I kind of just want them to do one Pirates film at a time. It is a little bit like Avatar, like let's just do them all together and then we'll release them at some point. It does get a little bit confusing because I thought it was going to be the Karen Gillan one, and then I found out it was a completely different film, and it doesn't really make sense to me, but I'm sure they know what they're doing, I hope.
It does feel weird that it's sort of acting as a spin-off, but you usually have a spin-off because you've got an established main cast, and then you can kind of build the spin-off knowing that the main films will sort of be your backbone, and then you can do like more interesting stuff with the spin-off. But they don't really have a main cast. Like, as far as I know, the Karen Gillan one, they don't know if it will have Johnny Depp, certainly not in a major role. It won't have like, they don't have an established thing. And I think that's the strange part about it. It's they'll be kind of, it feels like they're rebooting the franchise twice.
I think it's a very needed change because they've been, or I feel like they've been stretching the original idea and the original story with Johnny Depp in it for 3 movies too long.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be kind of refreshing to have a new cast and a whole new line of a new plot, completely separate from the original cast and the original writers.
Yeah. I haven't seen the latest one. I haven't finished the third one. I can never get through it. I find it really hard. I always get to the part with the P and several Jack Sparrows, and then I turn it off. I think I've done that like 3 times. Like, I just get to that point and I just can't. Which is a shame because I really like the first 2. But yeah, no, I think it's quite interesting. I think the other thing that we could consider is that one of them's actually going to go into production, the other one's not. Maybe this is just sort of like a hire lots of people to try to get stuff into development and then decide closer to the time which one you're going to go to. Which isn't unheard of. I think if they were to do that, it would be weird to already attach Margot Robbie because you usually don't attach a star so early on in that development process. But it's not unheard of for studios to hire several writers and then pick their favorite screenplay. I have like a group.
I do feel like DC had that exact mentality of let's start 20 projects, and in about a year we'll choose 5 which we are happy with, and they'll be the ones to go into the production, and the rest we just won't really comment on. So the rest, there's like IMDb pages of DC actors attached to 7 movies that haven't been heard of in 7 years.
Yeah, the Wikipedia page also as well, upcoming projects, and it's they're like, nah.
It's like when Suicide Squad came out, and they were like, okay, there's going to be a Suicide Squad 2, there's going to be a Batman, there's going to be a Joker movie, there's going to be a Birds of Prey movie, there's possibly going to be a Harley Quinn movie, and there's going to be a what's the Gotham City Sirens? And I think none of those have been officially cancelled yet.
No, there was also going to be a Deadshot film, a Joker and Harley film. To their credit, they did put a Joker film on the Birds of Prey film. Oh, we are guys, so that's got. Although that Joker film just really wasn't what I was imagining it to be when they announced it.
I mean, Jared Leto was attached when they said they were going to do a Joker film, and then well, all that went down. It was just strange. It was just a strange thing to say. I wasn't expecting it, and I wasn't expecting the same team up, and for Disney, no less. But yeah, sorry, this seems quite DC heavy. I just thought these were the trending headlines from like the past week, because the last one we've got before the we've got another one. But Michael Keaton in talks to return as Batman and the Flash. So yeah, it's been quite confusing. So the initial report was like, right, Michael Keaton will return as or is in talks to return as Batman and the Flash. They're currently thinking that if they do sign him on, he can also appear in the Batgirl film, which Christina Hodson is also writing. Where he will play like an older mentor figure to her, coming up or whatever. But people aren't sure, like, because Andy Muschietti sort of reaffirmed earlier that he would be doing the Flashpoint storyline or taking elements from that, which is very sort of timey-wimey, dimension breaking sort of stuff. It's quite big scale for a first film. I don't really like the idea as much as I love the story. So people are wondering, what if like the Flash breaks into the Burtonverse and this is like him, and then you also have Robert Pattinson's one, but now we still have Ben Affleck who's coming back for Zack Snyder's Justice League. And I'm very confused, and I don't really like it. I love Michael Keaton as Batman, but I don't know. What are your opinions?
My immediate reaction is like, that's a very fan servicey sounding choice, but not even fan service. Like, who is asking for? Like, it's nice though. Like, I love it when that kind of thing happens. That is quite sweet. But like you say, like, how will it? I mean, I didn't realize that the plan was to have Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn in the same universe as the Robert Pattinson one. I didn't quite realize that was going to be happening. But
don't think it is officially.
Okay.
It's sort of up in the air, and people keep trying to get Matt Reeves to sort of, confirm it. And I think you basically said in the script, Ryan, is like, there'll be like winks and nods, but we don't know what's happening yet exactly. Yeah.
The reaction sounds nice, but yeah, because I'm not really usually bothered. But it sounds like a sweet thing to do. I just don't know if it'll work in that wider universe thing.
It feels like if Ezra Miller is still attached, which I assume we haven't heard anything otherwise, it might be DC just sort of their way of saying, hey, we don't really care about canon and continuity. We're just going to have, or maybe they'll be like, hey, there are multiple universes. We will try and tie them all into a continuity. I think the Flash movie will be the make or break point to see if DC are trying to do a Marvel thing or trying to do standalone things.
I mean, I read an Empire article on it, and they described him as being like the Nick Fury for the DCU, and I hate that, because it's just another way of seeing what works with Marvel and being like, well, let's just apply that to our own films and do it in a really bad way.
Yeah.
We'll just make it look like it tried, but it failed. It never works. And I'm really sick of it. And I just hope that one day they'll just push past it and do their own thing.
Yeah.
But it's not today.
I mean, technically they have connected everything into a multiverse. They've been doing it on the TV shows for a while, and they do like annual crossovers, and this year they did Crisis on Infinite Earths, and where they connected all the old shows and films into one multiverse, and Ezra Miller's Flash appears in it very briefly.
Wow.
Yeah,
They don't confirm it's Earth, so to speak, like they don't designate a number, but they technically all exist in one multiverse. It's insane.
Include Nolan's?
Did they show Nolan's? I don't think so. I don't think they showed footage of Nolan's, but they did like they showed footage from 2011's Green Lantern. They had Burt Ward back for Batman 66 and like the 2003 Birds of Prey and 70s Wonder Woman and the latest like Swamp Thing and Doom Patrol, and everything was just sort of like connected. They even brought Brandon Routh. Well, Brandon Routh was already attached into the show as Adam, but they brought him back as Superman from the Christopher Reeves continuity. So everything's just sort of like wrapped up. But yeah, I don't know, because my initial thinking was Michael Keaton could be Batman, but it wouldn't be Bruce Wayne. I don't want to give away too much, but in the Flashpoint comic, it changes the series of events, and in it, it's Bruce that dies in the alleyway, and Thomas his dad becomes Batman, like a very, very angry, guns loaded and ready to fuck up shit Batman. And my initial thought was that maybe they were going to bring Michael Keaton as that older sort of character, and it would be like a nice sort of like, not meta guy, because I think that undercuts the sort of gravity of the situation, but sort of like a nice like little reference sort of thing. But I think there were other reports saying that no, they want him as Bruce Wayne. So I don't know. I mean, obviously Batman's their like biggest selling ticket. Like they can always bank on it. Like the Batman has one tiny teaser, and everyone like goes crazy for it. So, but I think it's just too confusing, especially with Batman's presence in this universe being so undetermined so far. And even like we don't even know if Ezra Miller is going to be back as the Flash. They haven't said anything one way or the other. No, I don't know, but I never know of this movie. No one does.
Am I the only one that doesn't see Keaton as the Batman? Like I always picture him in as a really, really bad villain.
Why is that? Is that a movie that's like made you feel that way, or is it just a general vibe?
I think it's just a general vibe, but I don't see him being a mentor. Absolutely not.
That's fair. I can only really think of him in villain roles as well. Yeah, I know what you mean.
He'll always be Birdman for me.
It's not an actor that I really like for any superhero part, I guess. I don't know.
I guess he's one of those people that's not bothered about being in like Marvel and DC. Like it's like it's fine. Like because it was him who was the baddie in Homecoming, wasn't it?
Yeah, he played Vulture.
Yeah, so
and appearing again in is it Morbius? Yeah.
Which is technically set outside of the continuity of the MCU, according to Kevin Feige, but Amy Pascal doesn't think so. So if they do something Keaton, he'll be in 3 different superhero live-action universes all at once.
Wow.
That'll be quite something.
Go him.
See, you can still accomplish stuff in your 60s. Yeah.
I could. Oh, sorry. I was just
no, go ahead.
I could see with Flashpoint, if they did bring him in it, he would have like a Logan style capping off.
Yeah.
I feel like people would respond to that very well.
Yeah.
because they responded to Logan very well.
No, it's a beautiful story. I really love it, and it's like, you know, those stories are just sort of character defining. It's like that, but I still wouldn't do it as a first one because I think you need sort of like a status quo that's defined to really appreciate Flashpoint as like, it's sort of like Justice League skill. Like it really is a whole crisis. I don't think they'll build it up to that, you know, level, but I think if you underplay it, it might, like you can't do the story again. It's like Dark Phoenix, where you sort of like, you only really have one chance at doing this right. So if they do it smaller scale, they can't do the same thing if they decide that they want to do it bigger scale. So I would have just focused on doing like a couple of really solid Flash films and then, you know, Flashpoint to sort of cap it all off. But it does change the continuity in the comics because he rewrites history on his way back inadvertently. It's like, what's the metaphor used? Like breaking a plate, and you can always put the two bits back together, but there'll always be that little line.
Yeah. You
know, where the plate's broke. So a lot of people are sort of like, maybe this is a way of retconning previous bits of their continuity, but like Days of Future Past did with X-Men, and then they're like, right, no, we'll just mess it up again. We'll do like, yeah, like we'll do 10-year like jumps, but they'll be the same age. It'll be great. Everyone will love it. Yeah. So final one before we get into our games is that cinemas are reopening in England on July 4th. And to go with that, Tenet has been pushed back to August, as well as Mulan.
It's finally happened. It finally moved the date.
I'm not in England, and neither is Hattie.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sorry, or I meant to say Alex. I don't know why I said Hattie. I was thinking of Hattie because does the Isle of Wight, how does it follow procedure for this? Does it follow like England's rules, or?
Yes, but according to my accommodation provider, they sent me an email because they were like, you need to come back up and get your stuff. And I was like, I can't. And they said, oh, it's fine, you're not in the England. But I am in England. We're part of England. Disney World here is reopening, but I don't think I'll go. That's just me.
Okay.
Not quite ready yet. I don't think there's enough procedures in place. Like from what I've heard, they've said they're neither going to encourage nor discourage wearing masks. And I'm like, that's not on. And the seat capacity thing, I don't feel like is completely sorted yet. So I miss it. I want to go back. But if I have to wait until I'm back up in Newcastle and things are settled a little bit, then I will. But
yeah. Devon, Kat, are you guys going to take advantage of cinemas reopening in like a week?
Gosh, when you put it like that, like in a week's time, like it's annoying, like not to make it like too much of a like political whatever, but like I think I can understand why people are feeling like a bit not disenchanted, but disenfranchised with everything, because like it's so confusing that you can go to the cinema and you can like go and shops are opening and everything, yet you can't hang out in groups of more than, and you have to social distance with people. Like it just seems like very hypocritical and inconsistent types of policies, and so that's why my gut reaction is the same as Hattie's. Like I don't really want to go until I feel more comfortable, but it's annoying that it's like based on how I feel. It's not based on what's actually safe and what's been claimed to be safe or not. And everyone's feeling on what's safe and what isn't, if it's based on their own sort of interpretation, is going to be vastly different. Some people are going to feel completely comfortable going back, but lots and lots of people, I imagine, won't, you know. So it's very, and I suppose cinemas are going to be expecting that though, aren't they? Like they're going to be expecting a small amount of, well, I don't know. I was going to say they're expecting a small amount of people, but I don't actually know, like, what if people do flock there, you know, thinking like, okay, not many people will go. I haven't been in ages, let's go, you know. I mean, people have been doing that with beaches. So, Devon, what do you think?
I'll probably go if there's something like...
2K print of Empire.
Well, you know, if they're doing The Dark Knight on the big screen, I just but no, it's I do think that it is unsafe, the procedures they've put in. Like it should be mask required, and people in English just don't wear masks enough, and it shouldn't even really be reopening because it is obviously not safe, because the only things that they're telling us to do are the things that reopen the economy, not the things that actually we should be doing. But yeah, I'll probably, you know, check the websites, check if people are flocking or if people are a bit more stilted, and only go if it's really something that I want to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I did read of like cinema owner in America, so I'm not sure if it's an exact correlation, but they were talking about how, due to the procedures and the kind of extra cleaning payloads and the less revenue and the less just everything, cinemas probably won't be profitable for the owners until fall at the basically until new films start going into cinemas. So I'm surprised that UK chains are reopening. I suppose it's kind of the thing that if they're kind of paying the staff anyway, they may as well be getting some revenue, and of course paying building bills and stuff. But yeah, it's not like cinema is saved at this point. They're still taking very heavy hits. They're just trying to dampen the blows.
Yeah, I think like if we consider right now that they're not getting any more money in, but they still have overhead costs. If they open up and they're not making enough money, but they're still like breaking even, then that sort of keeps them where they are until they get to a point where they can start making money again. It might just be sort of like a way to sort of stabilize a business.
Well, I don't even feel they'll be breaking even until like end of August. I would expect.
Yeah.
It's going to be a while.
Yeah. I suppose the benefit of shooting older films is that I don't think they have to pay as much in sort of, I don't want to say royalties, because they probably will pay royalties for these sort of films, but you know what I mean, like where Disney takes like a 70% cut,
Yeah.
you know, something like that of every ticket.
Or the Disney thing where they will say like, hey, if you want our film, you have to show it in all of these screens for X many weeks from its launch, and basically just, you know, the cinema is purely dependent on whether people want to see that film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have curiosity. I actually looked up on Odeon's page for Norwich.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I had you in mind, Devon. So if Devon decided to go to Odeon in Norwich, he could see 1917 and Bloodshot and some older films, The Invisible Man, sorry, but the new one. And I think the price is like $5.75 for all ages. No, it's not actually. I was expecting this to be like really expensive, especially since it's down south. But it's down
cinemas
south, right?
in Norwich, the main one is £5 per ticket flat. Any age, any film.
I'm moving.
Yeah. Well, like, I was really surprised because I think someone put like Odeon tickets from like Leicester Square or whatever, and it's like 25 quid for like a real like
London
side one, you know, and then like 40 quid for a decent seat.
Yeah.
It's just insane. But yeah, I don't. Alex, have cinemas opened in Spain yet?
Yeah, a week ago. And they actually have a lot of measures in place. For now, I think they're opening now at 60% capacity. I might be wrong because it changes every week. But I think right now it's 60% capacity, and then in 2 weeks' time we'll move to 70% capacity. I'm not kidding, it actually changes every week.
How are they doing that then? Because I would assume 50% capacity is just every other seat.
Yeah.
But 60%, do you do like every other except there's someone at the like sitting on the stairs at the aisle?
No, I guess what they're doing is trying to have an empty seat, a full seat, empty, full, empty, full. But maybe with a row in the middle. I have absolutely no idea because I haven't been in the cinema yet. I think they're also planning on putting because in the buses now we have like little panels, crystal panels. So I think they're planning on doing that as well in the cinemas or in some cinemas. And you have to wear a mask, like that's it's compulsory, you have to. And I don't think like you can buy candy or drinks there, but I don't know. I think you have to bring your own. I have absolutely no idea there. And they offer hand sanitizer and stuff.
See, I don't get how they're gonna serve food at the cinemas in the UK, and they were like, "Oh, you don't have to wear a mask, but we'll give you popcorn because that's safe, and we'll just hold our breath while we serve it to you, and you can have it." Like, it really doesn't. There doesn't seem to be enough logic behind it, almost.
It's insane hearing Spain's rules by comparison.
They're a lot better.
Yeah.
I thought the UK was being more strict with measures because here you can have reunions up to 15 people, but you cannot see more than 5 people in the UK. So I thought they were being more strict.
I don't know.
Well, to be fair, Northern Ireland, Wales, and Scotland haven't announced any cinemas dates yet. I think the Republic is aiming towards the end, and I think the speculation at the minute is that Northern Ireland will wait until like the very end of June or August before considering it, which is interesting because our rates are like much lower than England. It's a smaller population and less dense, so. But yeah, no, I just England pushing for all of it right now, but. I think at least we can go back to box office. We should have very interesting numbers in a couple of weeks.
Will be interesting.
Did we ever tell the news story about the film that was #1 in the US?
We'll get there.
Have you got it? Like, okay. Well, I'll let it come when it comes.
Okay. Yeah. So that's all the main stories of the week, and there's been a lot of stuff, so I've tried playing into little games, and we'll discuss stuff as we play. So I'll try to share screens here. I've actually never shared screens before on this. Can you guys see this?
It just says your screen sharing. Let's have a look.
Start it.
Hey,
yes.
Way, I can see it.
Yeah, okay. I don't know if I should put this into like a big slide, like a...
Yeah, do it on the full slideshow.
Yeah, go on.
Okay.
Go mad.
I'll see if my internet will allow it.
Oh, sponsored by Boshtacular. Lovely.
Ooh. From the beginning. Okay.
Oh.
Cool.
Chugging.
My voice being judgy.
Right, so we've got the picture round. So I should explain. I put these pictures, and I want you to guess what the news story is from the pictures.
Someone, I have absolutely no idea.
Are we working together or against each other?
Yeah, work
Okay.
together.
Does it have to do with Jaws?
Is it something to do with Sharknado? Like it's on land as well, so.
The third one is confusing.
Yeah.
It's a park.
Yeah. It's like a bench. It's a bench in a park and
With some trees.
with some trees. We've described the whole picture.
It's someone making a Sharknado theme park.
Ooh, that's a good idea. Oh, it's a box. Okay. I don't know.
There is a box.
There's a box.
Is that to tell us that it's just the bench?
Peter,
box.
oh, we're getting a box on our screen, like on
like
the right-hand side.
Yeah, I think it might be for where our pictures should be on your screen.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, okay.
If you drag it down to the bottom, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, hey, that's good.
I
think maybe you're right with the theme park idea or something, maybe.
Is the money someone buying?
Yeah.
A shark ride at a park?
Well, I mean, it could be an investment for the theme park.
And it's got to be movie related too.
Peter is laughing.
I'm really trying not to. I can usually do a pretty good poker face, but this is.
I would disagree with that, Peter.
I can't, right.
Could it be they showed Jaws at an outside cinema and
Oh yeah.
made money doing that?
Yeah.
Maybe it like tipped over a record or it overtook a film or something like that. Because it's a shark. It's either going to be like Jaws, The Meg, Shallows, or Sharknado. And I don't think they'd be showing any film apart from Jaws at the moment.
Let's go with that. But why would that be a news story?
There's nothing else going on.
They showed a film outside.
But if it was like they'd been showing it outside screenings and it had hit a certain record,
That's
certain box office, like it had tipped over being a $500 million grossing film or something. I don't know, but
Cinema are doing drive-in screenings at the minute.
Yeah.
So it might have been one of those, but I don't remember.
That's a really nice idea. I hope it's that.
Is that your answer?
Yeah.
Wait, what was the answer again?
Devon, you explain.
an outside cinema has been showing Jaws, and because of that, is hit a new box office milestone.
I'll give you a half point. I think you guys know the story anyway. So it's in America at the top of the box office, which is the money, is Jaws, and the park. I didn't want to add a dinosaur. I just had park, so it's Jurassic Park. Have topped the box office for the first time in decades. But you guys were kind of close. I'll give you a half point for sort of like the outside park stuff, because this is sort of what it is. I don't think any cinemas are really open yet.
Yeah.
So it's mainly drive-ins. But yeah, which is quite interesting. I hope we get stories like this, when England opens their cinemas next week. Right, next one.
Oh my gosh.
The what?
Well, hive, it like a hive mind. I don't know, like
I'm so confused. Is it the B movie?
The B movie too.
But why the metal bit?
It's a crossover of the Terminator. So it's just a metal bee that was following Sarah Connor.
I would watch that.
Too. I mean,
Is it like, are they making a movie about robotic killing bees?
there is a movie called Killer Bees from like the 90s. But
Yeah.
I don't know if they would be remaking. Plus,
There's a Black Mirror episode, isn't there?
ooh, of
With
what?
robot bees.
Yeah.
I know that. Robot Beast, the film.
Not a very good episode though.
No, it was messy.
This is difficult.
This is
What
difficult.
part of the computer mother plague is that?
Yeah.
Motherboard, I would assume.
The motherboard.
Mother bee, mother hives.
It's just laughing.
So, Mother Bee just sounded really funny. Mother Bee.
Could it be like something about Bumblebee? Like, because it's a car, so it's
Oh my god.
mechanic.
Is there a Bumblebee sequel? I don't know.
It could be.
A Bumblebee spin-off?
Bumble to be.
To be or not to bumble.
Oh my god.
Bumblebee just writes Hamlet. That's it.
There was obviously they're doing the new kind of animated Transformers. Maybe there was a Bumblebee sequel. I think that sounds likely. That they're doing a Bumblebee something.
Bumblebee's mum. Shall we go with a Bumblebee sequel?
I'm yeah, go for that.
Okay, no.
Oh. Were we even close?
No.
Right. Okay. So this news story is about a new film coming up called B, the letter B. And it's going to be the first one to rely completely on an AI robot for the role called Erica. Yeah, and it's a sci-fi film. It's got a $70 million budget, and yeah, people were laughing because the robot Erica is sort of designed to look ethnically Asian, and everyone's like, oh, like they wouldn't give that budget to an actual Asian person. But I don't know, Scarlett Johansson has like quite a lot of ones recently, so. But yeah, right. Next one.
This is such a good game.
Oh, I love this one.
Oh wow! Wow.
Gay Christian vampires in Jurassic Park.
That's it. That's the film.
That's the movie. Okay. Gay vampires.
I feel like there was a film called like Lesbian Vampire Hunters. I
I've
haven't seen
that.
it. Oh no.
I was very young. I was about.
I'm writing that down. Hold on.
It's got James Corden.
Okay.
We already know Alex's next film of the week.
Is it to do with like the Jurassic World sequel? I can't think why.
It's like all these things are very disconnected. Like, there's nothing really that seems to. The only thing I can closest fit is like vampires and like Christianity, I guess, because like they're probably against each other. And like, oh, but a cross kills a vampire, right? And so maybe it's to do with that. Because Peter, then the last one, that was quite a complicated one. Like that wasn't just a bumblebee and a motherboard. That was like a completely, it was like that was a symbol for something rather than like what it is. So I think we should take it more like that than like directly. Okay, it's a vampire, it's a Christian, it's a I don't know.
The dinosaur.
Gay vampires versus Christian dinosaurs. No.
Versus Christian dinosaur.
Wait, was Buffy the Vampires? Was it something related to? Well, no, the dinosaurs.
Yeah, that's you were onto something. The first three are fine together. It's just the last one that doesn't.
unless it's not actually like a dinosaur, unless it's like prehistoric or something like that.
Oh.
Yeah.
I feel like there was a film called Velosa, like, what do you call the priest? Pasture? No.
Pastor.
Pastor. Was there a film called Velocipastors? Maybe not. I've got an image of like a velociraptor with like a little vicar collar, but that could be wrong.
Only like really loosely connected one to Christianity that I can think of is that I think there was some film announced where like a priest runs away to a cabin and he tries to like fend off this demon that's fought his family, but like I don't know how like vampires come into that at all.
Maybe it's not vampires, maybe it's just the supernatural.
That's a good point.
Or like Teeth. Do you guys remember that film Teeth?
Oh,
that sounds horrible.
It's truly terrible. It's truly it's such it was a scarring experience.
I'm writing that down too.
No, don't watch Teeth.
You do. Just back to back.
The pride flag, the rainbow flag might not be. It might be pride rather than like gay. It might be the word, or it might be rainbow instead of representing something to do with homosexuality. Maybe
it's June, like the month June, because June is the Pride month, so maybe it's not.
Oh
yeah.
Could be.
This is so complicated.
How did we get? Yeah, maybe it's June because the rainbow represents Pride, and Pride month is in June.
And after everything, it's gonna be like Batman or something.
Yeah. I've got no clue. I think the cross is wooden as well. I don't think it's metal.
No,
How do you
it's
kill a
I thought it was
vampire?
gold.
Say again.
I thought the cross was gold.
yeah.
Oh.
I thought it was
My
good.
glasses on.
How do you kill a vampire?
It's like a
With-
wooden stake, isn't it? or something?
Yeah.
Can you not go like back? Is that not what they do? Oh no, they do it with the silver bullets and stuff, don't they? In stakes.
No, that's
That's
super
werewolves.
for werewolves. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And the cross is generally for demons.
Ah.
I'm-
Still no closer.
I'm trying to think if the dinosaur could be something sort of Jurassic Park related, like one of the actors, but I can't think of any news stories with any of the actors from Jurassic
Isn't-
Park.
One of the old characters back. They've announced that he's going to return for the new film, but he's
Yeah.
not like connected in any way to anything on there. Like that character had like a brief minute or something in the opening scene of Jurassic Park, and then he was gone. And it's not even going to be the same actor; it will be just the character. But like,
I don't know. I don't
like,
know this one.
it was Christian, and I don't think he was
Obviously, they're doing a Jurassic Park prequel film where
Oh,
before
God.
he went to the Jurassic Park island, he fought gay vampires for the church.
Every time one of us says something, it really cracks me up seeing Peter's face. So monotone everything.
I think he's muted us and he's just stopped.
Into the void.
He's muted not on the computer, but like inside.
I've got no clue. I can't even begin to guess what this is.
Yeah, I give up.
You've
So,
stumped
someone
me.
else take it.
Yeah.
I think Hattie's Jurassic Park idea is the closest thing we've got to
Yeah.
something.
I can't even remember what I said, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Peter.
Do you have an answer?
Yeah. Sort of.
Not really.
I think we give in.
Yeah, everyone. I can only see Alex and Kat on my screen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're giving in.
Okay. I had to listen to all of that, Kat, and I want you to appreciate my poker face. I'm just going to say that I can do a poker face. I just choose not to.
Oh.
So, yeah, this is the news that micro-budget comedy film Velocipaster is getting a sequel called Outback Vampire, which follows gay vampires, and it'll be the second in a planned trilogy.
Oh my god.
All after
I
me.
can't believe you were right.
All after me.
We were like, that doesn't exist.
It was when Devon said it and you guys scoffed him. I was like,
I'm so sorry, Devon. That's terrible. Velocipaster, you kid, man.
I really thought you guys got that. I thought everyone had heard of Velocipaster at
No.
this stage. I really thought it would become like a big enough meme that this would have been like an easy enough one to get. But okay.
I'm writing that down.
Yeah, okay, right. Question 4. Oh, I love these transitions, by the way. I haven't made a PowerPoint in years.
Wow.
Okay, no, I remember this one now. I was
Okay.
struggling to remember it, but right. Poker
Space
face.
Jam 2.
Okay, so the guy is typing, and there's like little.
It's
Lol.
definitely something to do with screenplays or screenwriters.
And the
He's got a little
footballer?
bow tie and little suspenders, and is that a fedora or am I wrong?
That's how all screenwriters dress.
Is that what you look like when you put on your
Yeah.
suspenders and your bow tie and your fedora and your thick glasses?
Like I've actually got the fedora under the bandana. That's why I hide it. I'm ashamed of it, but it's fused to my head.
Glued there, like the bit in Matilda.
Yeah.
But there's space. Is that Mars, the one on the far right?
I think it's the moon. But when when the sun hits the
Blood
moon, so
moon.
it's kind of like the blood moon, I think it's called.
Oh yeah.
I'm getting thrown by the throw.
The guy.
Yeah,
Is
the American footballer. Is it?
Yeah. Pitch. It could be pitch. Oh my god. Sorry.
Oh, that would be very clever.
Thank you.
A Space Odyssey in Mars.
So the guy who wrote, is it the guy who wrote The Martian, has just like he's writing a new book and he's already sold the rights to it, and I think Ryan Gosling is attached with Phil and Lord Miller. Phil and Lord and Miller. Phil Miller and Lord whatever, to be directing. And it's quite funny because Ryan Gosling has already been a space person in First Man, so everyone's calling this film Second Man. It could be that.
Could be.
Maybe.
A film about the making of the film, you mean, like, or like about the writing of it, maybe.
Well, it could be that news story about the Martian. Andy Weir, I think it is. I think it was him who's written the book.
That sounds like a good point, yeah, because it doesn't have to be the release of a movie. It could just be like this has happened.
That'd be very clever if it was pitch, and that was a very good shout.
Thank you. Shall that be our guest then?
Unless anyone has any other
I think that's
ideas.
a brilliant guess.
Dear Peter.
So your final answer?
Yeah.
Okay. You guys were quite close. This is about a new Andy Weir adaptation.
Yes.
It does star Ryan Gosling. It's going to star Ryan Gosling as an astronaut. A couple of pieces you didn't get. It's not a pitch in football or American football. Whenever you throw the ball all the way across the field from one side to the other, it's called a Hail Mary. And the title of the film is Project Hail Mary.
Wow, that's really good.
And the screenwriter bit is because they've tapped Drew Goddard to do the screenplay for it.
Nice.
Which is the news. This was already a thing back in March, but the news this week was that Drew Goddard has signed on to write. I'm just going to look up what else he's done.
Yeah, I don't know his name off the top of my head.
It's a name I sort of feel like I know. Oh, I think he's done TV. Maybe that's why. Oh yeah. He did Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and recently he did Daredevil. Did he do? Yeah. Bad Times at the El Royale as well. And that he directed that, and I think he was also attached on The Martian as well. Did Cabin in the Woods and stuff. It's a good writer, I think. So anyway, so I wasn't really fussed on The Martian, so I'm not sure I'll go and see this, but yeah. So close. Let's give you the point anyway. Is this the last one? Sorry, I went over both of these transitions.
Oh wow, that was Oh yes. Okay.
Is it a documentary about
The moon.
monkey going to the moon?
And it's a gorilla as well. It's like you could have passed for that, like, because like didn't they send a monkey to the moon once, but like, or in space, but like,
Yeah.
that's not a gorilla. Maybe it's something no, maybe like a were thing. No, like
Could it be a second, like a sequel to the movie that The Rock did with the massive...
Rampage.
Yeah,
but why the moon?
because it's white. Like,
Oh yeah, it is a white girl. Yeah.
but it looks like it's a documentary on the last one.
They've announced a documentary that's like, I can't remember who's attached to it, but it's a remake of one they've done before on like deforestation in this particular environment that I can't remember where it is, annoyingly. That's coming to Netflix, but I don't think it has anything to do with the moon. Like,
That's a bummer. That's a really
Maybe
good
it
answer.
does and we don't know it.
I know, obviously, Planet of the Apes is a thing, but I don't think this is it because I don't think Disney have. I think they announced something, but Planet of the Apes couldn't be anything to do with the moon. And also, the apes aren't gorillas in Planet of the Apes. I mean, there's like one gorilla, but it feels weird to choose a gorilla.
If it was apes, yeah.
Plus, the interview.
There's like there's like King Kong and stuff, right? And they made a remake of that, obviously, like with Jack Black and everything. So is there any chance it could be a sequel to that, or like something about the making of that, maybe?
Well, they've got Kong Skull Island was the latest Kong, and then Godzilla vs Kong is the next one.
Yeah.
Could it be a name?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
The moon and the gorilla, could it be making a name? And they're doing a documentary about someone.
Yeah. Ooh. But who?
oh my brain.
Is there anyone who's called gorilla or anything that's called gorilla? Like guerrilla warfare? That's not gorilla, you know. Like, is there anything like that that works? I don't think so. And the documentary part, I know what you mean. That's throwing me as well.
It has to be a documentary about something or someone.
Yeah. I don't.
But just the moon. Why is the moon there? That's
Yeah.
Get up it. This is like another T-Rex in my brain.
You know it is. The pictures are getting smaller as they go. Oh,
That's too meta.
I don't know. It probably isn't relevant, but they are.
Maybe it is.
Is this the new Ant-Man documentary, except it's set on the moon and it's about gorillas getting shrunk? That's it.
Why Ant-Man?
I like that. I like that answer.
I'm just imagining someone actually making that now. CGI loads of gorillas getting shrunk and then put on the moon. And then
Why are they getting shrunk? I don't understand how Ant-Man is any part of this.
my brain went, what's a film when someone gets shrunk? And I was like, Ant-Man.
Why are they getting shrunk?
The shrinking. There you go.
Because it's more economically efficient to build a tiny rocket than a,
Less fuel.
Just a bit for aeroplane. You just
throw it really hard. We'll get there. No, let's stop being silly.
Alright, what is it then, Kat?
Moon. Like, cause
I think it's Ant-Man.
yeah, the newest Ant-Man has been released.
Ant-Man with gorillas
Yes.
in the suit instead of Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd's just I would watch that film, like a gorilla pretending to be Paul Rudd.
That's
not what this is. I don't know. I just don't know at all.
Well, I feel like our most complete answer was doing a documentary on a monkey who went to the moon. So should we just do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Hattie was closest, not about the Ant-Man thing, but about this being a new adaptation of the documentary Virunga that was on Netflix. And this new one will be written by Barry Jenkins, who co-wrote and directed Moonlight.
Ooh. Oh!
Just written by Barry Jenkins. Not
He hasn't signed on to direct yet.
That's interesting.
I never thought I
But it's
said
the biggest name attached. Although DiCaprio is executively producing it.
Peter, your quizzes are even harder than Devon's.
That's true.
I mean, if you guys read the news, this would be a problem. But here we are.
We're being punished.
I feel like yeah, exactly.
I'll have you know, I went through the Empire website this morning and I don't remember any of it, but I did. I made the
effort. I can't remember if there's only 5. There might be a 6th one in this round. Hold on, let's see. Oh, okay. Right, I think this is the last one there for the picture round.
Houdini movie with Batman.
Dumb.
There it is.
Oh, I think I know this.
Ooh, what?
I think because, of course, Fortnite's #1 fan, Christopher Nolan, has been showing off his films in there, and The Prestige has just been shown, and I assume that Batman is going to be shown soon. I know Inception is definitely, and I know The Prestige is definitely, so I don't know for certain Batman, but that seems to be a good shout in terms of an idea.
Yes, I completely agree.
See, I'm smart.
So your final answer?
Unless anyone else has anything else?
No.
Yes, it is.
Okay, well, you're correct. This is the news that Christopher Nolan films are being screened on Fortnite. It began yesterday, last night. I think it's a different film depending where you're in. So I think in the UK and Ireland, it's The Prestige, which, by the way, is the name of the transition used from question 5 to question 6. Yeah, and our films are doing our Inception and Batman Begins. I imagine they'll do like the whole trilogy at some point. Maybe. We'll see.
Do we know how, was it a success? I don't know what numbers they would have for, I don't know how Fortnite works, but did it work? Was it good? Do people, I don't know. I can't
No
find
idea.
anything on it.
I didn't bother re-downloading Fortnite, so just to watch just to watch the Prestige, because I just watched it anyway last night. Yeah, if they just push back Tenet another week, it'll start trending and that'll be all the publicity they need. I think they're fine right now. It's become such a big meme that this they don't need to spend any more on marketing. They could just keep doing this sort of thing. But yeah, no, I don't know, and I don't know how it's presented. Maybe the same way as the trailer was presented, but I didn't see that either. Did you guys see how the Tenet trailer was shown a Fortnite?
I saw a screenshot of, it seemed like there was a virtual character and you could see your character, and then there was basically a big screen in the world that the film was projected on, but it was in such a way that you could kind of move to the side and you'd be seeing the image from the side. It wasn't you couldn't full screen it, so to speak. There was just in the same way that you get if you play Minecraft and you get a map in an item frame, then it's the little pictures flat on that, and it's an item in the world, sort of like that, from the image I saw.
Yeah. Okay. I imagine it's the same way then. I doubt they would change it for a film. Which is really funny when you think about this. Yes, this is twice and the mission be seen. But yeah, sure, to each their own. If it means they watch more of the older Christopher Nolan films, fine.
I really hope Nolan was there, standing in front of the screen, just watching them all watch his film.
Yeah. I think that's it for the picture round. Yeah. Okay. Oh, origami.
Whoa!
Yeah. So this is the fake news round. We actually did this last time. So if you don't know it or haven't played it or whatever, basically I've taken headlines. Some of them are maybe a little bit paraphrased. They're not exact headlines. Of news, but in each round in each question, I've added one of my own. And I want you guys to figure out which one is the one I created. So let's start. I think I tried to theme these, but it got really hard. So yeah, the first one's just general. Kristen Stewart has been cast as Princess Diana in Spencer.
Yep,
Scoob
that's true.
heading to HBO Max after only 6 weeks on VOD. The SpongeBob movie Sponge on the Run will no longer be released theatrically and will instead receive a release on PVOD and CBS All Access. Or Anya Taylor-Joy has been added to the cast of Olivia Wilde's Don't Worry, Darling.
Oh my gosh.
This is difficult.
I hope so. So is one false or 3 false?
One's false.
I think it might be the SpongeBob one, just because I'm pretty sure I'm pretty certain that Scoob is right, and Alex said that the first one's right, and I
Definitely.
feel like Devon told me that the last one's right. But if you haven't heard of it, then
I haven't heard of it, and I feel like I should have, because that is so exciting. But I also believe that Sponge on the Run was pushed to 2021. I think I saw a statistic saying that it had a bunch of films, and it was like how many times they've been pushed. And Sponge on the Run has been pushed 8 times from its original release date. It was once pushed like into July, and then moved back to June, and then pushed back to the July date, and then moved to August, and now it's moved. So unless this is very recent, no, I think you're right, Kat. I think it's Sponge on the Run. Oh, but I hope that Anya Taylor-Joy's in Don't Worry. Anya Taylor-Joy and Florence Pugh in the same film.
oh,
It's one of the last 2, and I hope that it's Sponge on the Run.
No, I think it's the SpongeBob one. At least I hope it's the SpongeBob one. Because I want the last one to be true.
We can will it if all of us.
If we just start a petition.
So is SpongeBob your final answer?
yes.
Okay. No, you're wrong.
No!
Anya Taylor-Joy has not been added to the cast of Don't Worry, Darling.
No.
The SpongeBob movie Sponge on the Run has been pushed back to 2021, but it will still be released on CBS All Access.
That's very cruel of you.
Isn't it? Oh, I'm really excited for Don't Worry, Darling as well. And I was like, who's likely to be added to this cast? And I was like, Anya Taylor-Joy. That'd be great.
Peter, you're cruel.
Aw.
Ooh, cool. The director's round. David F. Sandberg to direct The Culling for Lionsgate. Colin Trevorrow to direct Atlantis for Universal Pictures. Jean-Colette Serra to direct Money All the Time for A New Line. Dan Gilroy to direct Faster, Cheaper, Better. And Edgar Wright is set to direct The Chain.
I know the first one's true.
1, 2, and 4 are definitely true.
That narrows it down a lot for me.
I feel like Edgar Wright news is true as well, but I could be wrong. But
Edgar Wright recently said he was going to direct a film, and I remember it was interesting because I think it wasn't him as the writer; it was some other writer. I thought, oh, that's interesting. So I think he's directing something, but I don't know if it's The Chain.
yeah, he hinted at a Scott Pilgrim anime series or film, but
Yeah.
based more off the books than the actual film itself. But he could have been hinting at that with the people he might be making The Chain with. I don't remember.
Does anyone know Jean Colette Sarah?
No.
think it's the last one because I find it funny that is set to direct instead of to direct like the rest.
Ooh.
I disagree. I think it might be number 3 because of that. I
You know what you
think
mean? You might be trying to throw us.
Yeah.
my vote is for number 3 because I'm sure Edgar Wright was attached to something recently.
The problem is that
Yes.
the chain?
I don't know. But I've never heard of that director or that film, Money All the Time.
Same.
I would go number 3.
But that might be because he chose Edgar Wright because he's a bigger name. This game is all about like getting inside Peter's head, and it never works. Peter is the enigma.
Look at his face.
I'm voting number 3.
Let's go with number 3 then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on. Yeah, that one's not true. Yeah, I made this up. Does it sound like a real film?
No.
Okay.
Apparently.
It sounds like a film that Doug Liman would direct.
Okay. Yeah, so Jean-Claude Sarah did The Shallows and Orphan. Like, you know, he does these sort of thing like Run All Night, you know, sort of thing. So I thought Money All the Time sounds like one of those sort of films. If you guys knew him, but you don't, so it doesn't work. so the facade sort of breaks because you don't know the director.
Yeah.
Edgar Wright is set to do The Chain. Hold up, I've got. So what it's about is a woman, I think her son has been kidnapped, and the only way to get him back is if she kidnaps another person for the original kidnapper.
Oh, that's cool.
I think so. Yeah, the film follows Rachel, who learns that her daughter has been kidnapped, and the only way to get her back is for Rachel to kidnap another child. I think it's a comedy, but I don't know.
Oh.
It sounds like a comedy. Yeah, the culling, I don't think there's anything else other than David F. Sandberg's doing it, and he did like Lights Out and Annabelle Creation and Shazam.
Yeah.
Colin Trevorrow is doing Atlantis, which is like it's just what it sounds like, under, you know, water Atlantis, high tech civilization or whatever. Yeah, and Faster, Cheaper, Better is. Oh shit! I had notes on this, but I can't remember what it's about. Have a look here quickly. I think it's follows people, or like the working class, or like several people, and all connects over like 20 years, and how like technology starts to affect their work, and how
I
it
think
interferes
people
with
being
job.
losing their jobs to like automation and stuff.
Yeah, I think that's what it's about. Yeah. I think it's based on the book as well. Maybe not. I don't. Right. Sorry. Next one. Question 3. Trailers. Nia DaCosta's Candyman gets a teaser trailer. The first trailer for Let 'Em Go reaffirms its August release date. The first trailer for Antebellum is released. The Kingsman sets up a different tone than the second trailer. Trailer for Hamilton released ahead of its Disney Plus launch. And the first trailer for Robert Pattinson's Waiting for the Barbarians is released.
So Hamilton 1 is true.
I know that
Kingsman is true too.
Yeah, fourth one's definitely true.
Antebellum has been released as well, so that's true.
Okay.
I think it's number 2. That's the only one which I don't know. The only one that could be sneaky is I thought the Antebellum trailer had released a while ago, but there was definitely a new trailer, so I could be wrong. So I'm going to go number 2.
But if the first one has been released, it doesn't say when.
Yeah.
So it definitely has. So that one's true.
Yeah. Let's do number 2.
Yeah. Okay, that's right. I was hoping to throw you off with something you might not know. But all the others got trailers. Did you guys see the Candyman one?
No.
Oh my god, it's amazing. Like Beata Costa shared out on her Twitter, and it's done with like shadow puppets, like paper shadow puppets sort of thing, and it's a beautiful score, and it sort of just tells the origin of Candyman, but in this like, you know, stop motion sort of puppetry.
Oh, it's gonna get really nice.
It's beautiful, and she said that there's going to be like more of that sort of stuff within the film, which makes sense because I think the main guy is an artist in the film, so it might thread in like that. Maybe it's not the first trailer, but an Andy Belton trailer was released. I thought it was the first one.
It could be. I could be wrong.
Yeah. Did you guys see the Kingsman trailer?
I watched it
Yeah.
today.
What did you think, Hallie?
Nope. I didn't like it. I felt like it was almost a remake of the first film, just set in a different era, and they took the comedy out. Like, it wasn't, I didn't get the same, like, oh, this is like jokey kind of laughs. It was just, I feel like they've expanded it too much, and they're trying to right all the wrongs from the second film where the gags really didn't work, so they've just gone, we'll take them all out of the next film. It didn't feel right. I'll probably still watch it, but
Yeah. I felt this was like sillier than the first trailer. I thought the first trailer was like overly serious for the franchise, and then this new one was sort of like, because like all the bits with Rasputin seemed really stupid, but maybe that was unintentionally so. Yeah, I don't know. I know quite a few of you guys are musical fans. Are you excited for Hamilton?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Very. I think about 10 people have sent me the trailer.
Aww.
but can't wait to sit with my parents and recite all 20,000 words that I know.
Yeah, same.
They tell me to shut up, so that's really fun. But I don't want to cry again, but I know I will.
Same.
Yeah, I don't really have any interest in it, to be honest. Not really a musical person.
That was
I know.
cold.
I know, but also like I think I'd rather see it on stage properly than to watch a recording of it on stage. Might be okay though.
I
don't know.
say the West End one, which was the one that I saw, was definitely worth seeing.
Yeah,
So if it comes back, I totally recommend it.
it's gorgeous.
Though
So good.
it doesn't have I forgot her name all of a sudden. Liza. So, but I don't know her first name. It totally escaped my mind. The girl who plays Eliza, it's one of the best musical singers in my opinion. She's also in the Comet of the 1900s or something like that. It's she's really good. So I'm really excited to see her.
Yeah. No, because I'll be interested to see if this like changes the way that musicals are sort of shown in the film. That people are going to like stop adapting them so much and maybe just do like a really professional recording of what it's like on stage. I don't think so though. I don't know.
No.
I think it's nice to make them more accessible to people, like how National Theatre have been doing, where each week there'll be a new play. But I think the thing with musicals is that you go for it's a bit like Comic-Con, and you do go to be sat in a theatre in that group environment. Like, I haven't seen the Book of Mormon yet, but I imagine with the songs and like the whole theme of it, it would be like an audience experience rather than just like watching it on your sofa. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know about you guys, but I was really worried when I ever say like a stage director be attached onto a film, because I always feel like they end up being really boring to watch on film. I don't know if this is a thing. I just think it's sort of like it's not
I
the
think you've got a
same.
point, because they're completely different things. Completely different.
But I think it depends, because it's not a stage thing turned into, it's a stage musical turned into a movie rather than a stage writer writing a movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I know. I'm just sort of saying generally with all these sort of like changes around and stuff. I think that might be kind of Branoff's problem as a director. I think it would be much better like on stage. Yes, sir. And then the final trailer there is Waiting for the Barbarians, which is a colonial drama and also stars Johnny Depp. I didn't actually get a chance to watch the trailer. Did any of you guys?
No.
I haven't seen it, but I want to see the film.
Yeah.
Mark
Rylance
is. Sorry, what was?
No, you go.
I was just going to say Mark Rylance is also in it. He's just a fantastic actor. He was in Dunkirk. He was the kind of old man on the boat. He was fantastic in the BBC drama Wolf Hall, and he also played the BFG in Spielberg's, which wasn't so good, but he was like all CGI, so it's a bit weird.
Cool. Yeah, I have those. I definitely recommend watching the Candyman one if you get a chance. So good. Right, I can't see this because of the box. I think the category is actors. So Jurassic World Dominion adds Campbell Scott as key character returning from original film. Elijah Wood to star as Ted Bundy's FBI analyst in crime thriller No Man of God. Set largely in a single interrogation room, the film is based on real-life transcripts of conversations between the FBI and serial killer Bundy that took place between 1984 and 1989. John Hamm, Stephen Yeun, Nicholas Hoult, Sophia Boutelle, Andrew Risborough, Charlotte Gainsbourg, and Mackenzie Davis to star in sci-fi comedy Alpha Gang. Centers on aliens sent on a mission to conquer Earth. They seem unstoppable until they catch the disease of human emotion. Ellen Page has signed on as the lead to The Woman in the Mirror, a psychological thriller that follows a woman trying to discover her identity after wake up in a hotel with no recollection of her life before. And Noomi Rapace to star in supernatural thriller Lamb. A childless couple discovers a mysterious newborn on their farm in Iceland. The unexpected prospect of family life brings much joy before ultimately destroying them.
I really hope the woman in the mirror is true because it sounds great.
The first one, I know that they've added the character, but I don't think they've added the actor back because I think he's in prison.
I think the
Yeah.
first one is definitely true. Second one, I can't remember if that was the name of the film, but that's definitely Elijah Wood and the
Yeah,
premise.
it's true. It's definitely true.
Yeah.
I don't know about the others. I know that second one.
5 sounds like a Noomi Rapace film. 4 seems interesting because as a premise it seems like one that's been done a lot of times before, but
Yeah.
it has been done a lot of times before, which means that it's obviously there's something to it. The third one's interesting because I looked at it and I thought that's weird that it's such a all-star cast for a sci-fi comedy, which you don't really get unless it's a Netflix film. You wouldn't really get as a blockbuster nowadays. But all of them, there's no real A-lists there. So maybe. I think 3 or 4. 3 sounds like a Netflix film though.
Maybe it is.
It sounds very Netflix. But I don't know if any of those actors are particularly... I feel like once somebody does something for Netflix, they sort of do a lot for Netflix. And I can't think of any film that any of those actors have done that's a Netflix film.
And it seems like a lot of actors for Netflix as well. Like,
Yeah.
especially have John Hamm and everything like that.
Yeah.
I want to say 4, but I kind of want it to be true.
I kind of want 4 to be true, yeah. But we know what happens when something we want is true.
We gotta change the org position and get it to be true.
Mm.
We make it happen.
And that does sort of seem like a film that Ellen Page would do at the moment, because she still sort of needs to break into the idea of being a mature actor. She always sort of gets the kid teen roles still, and that seems like a role that wouldn't be a kid teen role.
Yeah.
So then do we say 3?
Sure.
I don't know.
Let's go
3.5?
3. It feels like a lot of names, though, for him to have it wrong.
if you look at all that, none of those names are A-listers. Like
Yeah.
John Hamm hasn't really led a film properly ever. Stephen Young, I don't think he has either. Nicholas Hoult, no.
Oh, he's the
He's
guy
Burning.
Walking
He was in Walking Dead.
Yeah, and Okja.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's in Burning?
Yeah, he's the Ben, the kind of very
Oh,
posh.
the rich
What-
boyfriend.
Yes, yeah.
Yes.
No.
I want
I want to go with number 4 personally.
I want to go with 4 now. It seems too safe, and 3 seems too Netflix.
Go with 4. I say 4.
Okay, 4.
Damn, I thought I was going to get you guys, but yeah, number 4 is my own invention.
No.
Is number 3 a Netflix film?
No, at least I don't think so.
Damn.
Oh.
My whole argument was flawed.
But it got us there. Sure, you're working, but it was we got it right.
I'll have a wee look just to make sure, but I don't remember it being a Netflix thing. Okay, that doesn't even come up. Alpha Gun, such a generic name. Right. So yeah, but Stephen Ewan was in Okja, which is a Netflix film.
Oh, of course, yeah, it was.
It will be unveiled at Virtual Cons. Yeah, I don't think I was a distributor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Comes out next year at the festival.
Damn, that's surprising.
Yeah, isn't it? I like a lot of those actors though. I like Sofia Boutella. I'm just sort of waiting for her to like get a big start. Because she was in Atomic Blonde as well, which didn't quite shoot off the way people thought it might.
And of course, The Mummy, which destroyed the
Yeah.
Dark Universe.
I guess she was in Kingsman, or the first one.
Yeah. And Climax, she was good in that.
She's a good action star, I think. Yeah, so if you guys don't remember, Campbell Scott, his character in the original film he was offering to buy the secrets, which sets in motion the events of the film. He's the guy that's like, right, can you get me up to the, what do you call the really heavy guy? I can't remember their names, like of the side characters, but you know the one.
Never remember names, but the one, the like tech guy.
Yeah, like see, no one cares. Yeah, so I think that could be interesting. They're bringing back everybody for this, like, it's not even like the last one because I think they said they were planning more, but I want to think that this is like the last of this trilogy and that like Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard will move on afterwards. So yeah, Elijah Wood, Ted Bundy. Do you think the Ted Bundy craze will have died down by now?
I would hope so. I don't want any more Ted Bundy things, and I love true crime. But it's too much. It's too much, and too much in too little. Because it was the Netflix documentary with the tapes, and I think a year after or 2 years after the Zac Efron's movie, and now another documentary slash.
Just don't understand where the craze has come from for it. It's almost sort of like out of nowhere, everyone's gone, oh, let's make more content on it, and it's really not necessary.
Yeah.
I feel like
there's more interesting crimes to be talked about other than Ted Bundy. Like, I find the documentary and the tapes really interesting, but because it's really interesting, absolutely anything, any conversation with the serial killer, I find it fascinating. But
you've got to see Mindhunter. You've got to.
I know.
I think that it simply is because Ted Bundy is a well-known name. Like it's
more well-known names other than Ted Bundy worth making a documentary of, especially a new documentary, because we already have the tapes. They've already done a documentary series on them, so it seems kind of ridiculous that now they're gonna make a film.
I mean, what I find bizarre is that there's so many good true crime podcasts and like mystery podcasts that no one's adapted, like S Town or anything, or no one's even touched them. And I don't get it because we just keep returning to the same things. But
Yeah.
let's look at something else.
We want a movie about the Black Dahlia. I want a new movie about her, because that case is fascinating. Or the Southern Children. Talk about the Italian mafia and corruption in town. That's a fascinating movie to make out of a true crime. It's just, I don't like the fact that they're doing another Ted Bundy thing.
Yeah, I think this was probably put into development a while ago, and it's only sort of really kicked off now. I think they were going to try to capitalize on the craze, and well, this is the problem when you try to like capitalize on the craze. Like, you have to be really quick about it. And I think the Zac Efron film maybe killed it a wee bit for the Ted Bundy one. It wasn't quite as well received as the actual thing. I don't think people really talked about it afterwards. It had a weird release, didn't it? Like, it was like a Sky exclusive or something like that for a while, and then it was in cinemas. Or
it was like released theatrically in some locations. It was Netflix in some locations, and it was like other channels. Yeah, they really just sort of broke up the distribution. It didn't have a big splash.
It was done everything at the same time. It was theatrical and TV at the same time.
Right, yeah. I think they did it with Geostore. No, it's just
What a film.
Yeah, no, I really do think I remember like Geostorm being released on like the Sky movie store or whatever the same day as the release. Yeah, and then Lamb. I don't know. I think that premise has been done a lot of times as well. You know, the childless couple that gets the child, and it's not what it seems to be.
Yeah.
Orphan. What a movie.
Yeah, which was done by Jean Colette Serra.
And it's based on a true crime. And it's way better than another Ted Bundy movie.
Yeah, and Ellen Page is still signed on to do the Umbrella Academy, so I think she's busy doing that at the minute. But yeah, right, I think I've got one more for this round. Let's see. Ooh, fun. Yeah, I think this is the last one. I can't see it because of the box. I'm going to move the box. Oh, Actors Part 2. Fun. In a recent interview, Awkwafina has confirmed that she will reprise her role as, sorry, I messed it right as Avatar Mean Fleetfoot in the third Jumanji installment. Chris Pine, Ben Foster, and Julian Jacobs star in Black Ops thriller Violence of Action. After being involuntarily discharged from the Marines, the soldier joins a paramilitary organization in order to support his family in the only way he knows how. Juliana Moore to play con artist in Sharper for A24 follows a con artist in the world of Manhattan's billionaire class. Liam Neeson, the star in thriller Honest Thief, a bank robber tries to turn himself in because he's falling in love and wants to live an honest life. But when he realizes the feds are more corrupt than him, he must fight back to clear his name. And then Chicken Run 2 in development at Netflix with Mel Gibson no longer reprising his role as Rocky.
The last one's true. I
Definitely, yeah. I think number 3 is true. I think I've heard about that.
Same.
I think it's a very A24 movie.
Number 4 sounds like a Liam Neeson film.
I was going to say number 4 sounds exactly like people trying to capitalize on the John Wick craze with Liam Neeson.
But number 2 sounds kind of accurate too.
Do we have? Is it planned to have a third movie on Jumanji?
There must be. Like, they make so much money, and Sony doesn't really have any franchises aside from that and Spider-Man. So, yeah, there will be a third. I didn't see the second, so I don't know how.
I hope there isn't. I saw the second one, and it ends on a note that, like, I think they could finish it on, but then they really want to go back and make a third film, but I don't want them to, because I just want to leave it where it is. Like, it's a miracle that the first 2 worked as well as they did.
Yeah.
Just take your losses and
I feel like Aquafina really she's really breaking out, but I can't quite figure out if she's breaking out in the sense that she's doing a lot of big budget films, or if she's kind of got the money and is taking a step back and doing artsy stuff. I really don't know about the first.
Sorry, is that cake?
Yes.
Can you send me a piece?
Oh, it's my mum's. She just made it the other day because my favorite cake is red velvet cake, and she made it just today. And she thinks it's really bad, and it's not. It's really good. And it's really sad because she came in, she gave it me, and she was like, "It's awful. You don't have to eat it." It's not awful. It's really good. Anyway.
I would go with the fourth one. 1 to fourth one. Guess it's the only one that I don't want to be true.
Stop. You can stop following your wants and desires.
It almost feels too Liam Neeson. Like he would.
Yeah.
You'd think by now he would stop trying to get typecast in these things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then he's Liam Neeson and money.
The second one being called Violence of Action. Just
That is true. Maybe they're all true, but the catch is on the titles.
I want to say the second just because I feel like Chris Pine does more interesting projects now, especially with Ben Foster. Him and Ben Foster have been in a film before, Hell and High Water, and that was really good. And this does not sound good. So my vote is for number 2.
I'm gonna vote number 2 too.
Just for the name alone. I didn't even notice that until you said it. I was just like, oh, it's another film, but it's horrific.
But it is it's so ridiculous a name that he might have picked that one out to fool us.
It sounds,
But
you know, when YouTube went through that phase of like releasing their own content and they were trying to make themselves into a streaming platform.
Yes.
Sounds something they would have renounced. Just with a worse cast, probably.
Escape the Night.
Oh my God.
God, that trailer is imprinted on my brain.
Where did that whole plan go? Have they
I
just
don't know.
completely?
It's like just Giuseppe. What does he say in the trailer? He's always like,
It's so long.
he always says something like, the others don't know what's coming, and then it's Escape the Night, and that's it. It's like those ones where it's too short that they don't let you skip, but it's long enough that it's like imprinted on your.
Horrific.
Yeah. Anyway.
There were like 10 YouTube shows that it was like advertising to me every video for about a month.
Yes.
And then they all disappeared, and I've never heard of them again. Nobody's ever mentioned them.
Same.
I've never seen them appear, so I guess they're still on YouTube Premium. If that is still, I don't know. They can't just disappear.
It's still a thing, and I think they're still making episodes of it.
Oh no.
I kind of want to go watch them, but
Same, but can't be bothered to.
That
I
would
want
be
to watch Escape the Night.
instead of Netflix parties, we'll do Escape the Night YouTube Premium parties.
You know, the worst thing though is that I watched a trailer today. Like someone had, you know, like how everyone does Rain Shadow Legends, like as their thing that they are sponsored by. Today somebody, you know, advertised it on a YouTube video to me, and I actually thought it looked quite good. And thought about getting it. So it's happened. Like you think that those ads don't work, but they do. Because I think it looks really good. But if I download Rain Shadow Legends, it's just gonna look like that.
See, I've got a thing where Grammarly has been advertised to me so much that I like genuinely despise the service. And then I've just recently set up a new computer, and I was like going through installing all my Firefox add-ons of like the recommended ones. There was, and the article had like the second best add-on ever was Grammarly. They said it's really good. I'm like, no, I have.
It's really good though.
No.
I just fell into that and I used it for about a month, and I feel like I might still have it as an add-on on my old laptop, but then I got it. I was like, no, we're not going back there. I hate it.
Number 2.
Number 2.
I'm staying
Okay.
with 4.
Yeah, you're wrong.
Ah,
Yeah.
Tell me it's four.
Number one is the false one.
ah.
Awkwafina has not confirmed that she will reprise her role yet. But guys, Jesus, the low-key shade there, the violence of action, that's so shit. He's got to have come up with that himself. Wow.
He will have invented this one.
The
He doesn't
shade.
know what he's doing.
Well,
I don't have an excuse.
If it had a lesser cast, then I would have accepted it. But it was the fact that Chris Pine and Ben Foster, who had made an Oscar-nominated film before, starring in violence of action, that was what got it. It was the fact that it sounds like such a bad film.
YouTube Premium is
Wow.
calling out for it.
Yeah, no, I'll try not to take this personally. Like, I'm not the most creative. I'm not the most creative person, but come on.
And I was thinking that you really like Awkwafina, and that could have... damn it.
I do really like Awkwafina, and I hope for good things for her, because the farewell is amazing. Like, everybody in that cast and Lulu Wyandotte deserve everything. But yeah, okay, so no, Awkwafina is not confirmed that she'll be in it. Chris Pine, Ben Foster, and Gillian Jacobs will star in this movie that I did not create. Julianne Moore is going to be in Sharper. That's really all there is to that one. Honest Thief, yes, it's an early Neeson action flick. No, I think he's just happy to get to work after the, what was it? Snowplow or whatever, and then he did the interview. I think he's happy just to get to work.
What was that film?
Oh God, what was it called?
Isn't on Snowden?
No. It's like...
Was it the one he released after he made some like quite racist comments, and then everyone?
Well, he made it
flop?
He made an anti-racist comment that could be... Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh God, what was it called? It's really funny.
I'm
Not the
going to need to
incident,
look it
but
up. Because...
yeah, I'm looking it up too. As well as Ice.
It was like...
Cold Pursuit.
Oh, Cold Pursuit, yes.
That was it, right?
And it was a film that was advertised as this very like flat, like just action thriller, and everyone was like, "Oh, this looks awful," and then it came out, and it was actually this like weird, like Norwegish. This director from Norwegian who had made this like ridiculous black comedy, which was just fantastic.
Norwegian.
Norwegish.
Just thinking about that time Devon said Norwegish.
I was thinking Swedish, and I was like, no, they were from Norwegian, but it just sort of carried on.
Yeah, and then the last one, Mel Gibson, it's the opposite situation where I can't remember who it was, but someone brought Mel Gibson's anti-Semitic, homophobic remarks and all, and everyone's like, terrible, but he's done this so many times before. So yeah, he won't be coming back for Chicken Run 2, which celebrated its 20th anniversary this year, and they celebrated by announcing that Netflix has greenlit a sequel. Will you guys watch?
You can go read my article on it for The Independent. It's on my Twitter.
Ooh.
Go. Just self promo. I make a lot of egg puns, so.
Oh God.
Why wouldn't you?
Right, well, I think that's it. Yep. Okay. I can stop screen sharing now, which will be great if I can.
You've got this.
Hold on. You'd be surprised. Oh, no, that's not the same. That's definitely not right.
It's fine.
I actually really don't know how to do this.
Bottom, maybe? Like somewhere in the bottom.
You see, it would be, but right now I have it so that I'm on PowerPoint. So it's sort of like a rectangle. Yeah. Okay, I don't know, but we'll just have this anyway. We'll just end the show like this. It'll be okay. Oh, there it is. It's up at the top.
Hey!
There we go.
Cool.
Here we go.
Yeah, so I think that about wraps it up. Do you guys have anything you want to plug?
Oh, the quiz. We're doing a FilmSoc quiz on Sunday, 8 p.m., 7 p.m. I can't remember.
Wow.
No, I think it's 8 p.m.
Yeah.
Come along, make your teams. Should be a fun old time, like the one we did before. Yeah, and it's again made in such a way that you can Google. You don't need. How do I explain this? You can't Google the answers, but Google can help you. So there will be like actual winners. It won't be like one of those quizzes where it's just kind of on honors. No, you have everything in your arsenal.
Okay, sounds good.
I guess we've got a film on Monday as well, which has quite a funny backstory, but I don't know if it's worth getting into. But we'll show Monster House because we thought let's show an animation because we haven't watched an animation in quite a while. So we set up a poll of a bunch of different ones, and Monster House won by like a landslide of votes, like a really long way. Like the second most was 4 votes for Howl's Moving Castle, and then the others were kind of evenly spread through the more kind of smaller ones, like the Breadwinner and stuff. But yeah, no. So it's Monster House on Monday at 7 p.m. Netflix party on the event. Join us there. I think that's everything.
Yeah, I think so.
The week after is another movie, but
yeah, career sort of stopped for a wee bit while we changed around editors and all. So I don't have anything to plug there. Alex, do you want to plug your podcast?
Sure. We have a podcast on Spotify, Jerry and I. It's called Quarantine Talk, and we recently uploaded one on cancel culture, and the one coming out on Monday, it's on LGBT representation in the media. So that might be interesting.
Cool. Yeah, well, I think that's everything. I'm sure we'll do another one of these live streams soon, so we'll keep you up to date with that. Right? Bye.
Bye.
Bye.